I wanted to shout out the cinematography and the costumes in Zyklus. Um, I thought, the red was striking and a great use of red in the contrast with the green in the nature and the black in the studio and all of that stuff. I thought the choreography was great and the performance, the dancers were also great. They pulled off the choreography well with emotion and had me, engrossed. So overall, really well done. Great job.
I thought this film was super creative. I loved the costuming. I loved the locations and the transitions between them. Um, I like how the mood and the energy kind of changed with the location, but also with the music. And these, like, especially with the introduction of the second dancer, kind of just appearing within her dress was so cool, and then kind of disappearing in a way towards the end where she kind of falls to the floor and is covered up, and then the full circle moment at the end where she kind of like wakes up again out of this um, dream, or what have you. I just thought it was super super creative. It was really engaging to watch. I loved watching them perform, and everything was just like flowed really beautifully together, so I thought this was wonderful.
I really enjoyed the vivid imagery in this piece. The costume color choices, the background, the setup, it just set a really great canvas and backdrop for the choreography.
This was so cool. I loved the cinematography. The filmmakers were really, really smart with that lush green forest, and then they had this pop of red that I thought was really cool. And they carried that theme of that red throughout the entire film, which I also thought was very, very smart. The transitions in this were so clever and so seamless, going from, one dancer to the next. I thought that that was absolutely brilliant. The dancers did a great job. The music was really cool. I loved this. I thought they did a fantastic job on this.
Really interesting piece. Yeah, I really liked how it kind of went through movements. You got a sense of story of kind of a birth and, a coupling and a death and a rebirth is kind of what I got from it. It was kind of a, life cycle and a reincarnation, I guess, was, at the end. So yeah, it was really interesting. The choreography was great. The dancers did a wonderful job. They were amazing. I loved watching them. They were just great dancers, and they performed the piece so nicely. Their expression, their acting, as well as their dancing, their movement was really fantastic. It was nicely shot, nicely edited, good use of locations. I liked how the story moves through different locations, and you start off in the woods, and there's a house, and you kind of end up in the abstract at the end. Then back in the woods and partying again because it's rebirth time, I suppose. But yeah, no, it was great. And the music was excellent too, nicely produced, nicely performed. So yeah, good, well edited, well directed, well performed, nicely put together overall. So great job with this. I hope it gets out there and gets seen.
This was a really beautiful dance piece. I think the movement was all really fluid and kind of cyclical, and I think that was showcased through the story as well. I think you did a beautiful job of showcasing the dancers and their ability, but as well as utilizing the spaces that they were in, and using that to progress the story that you were telling, but also in the choreography. Overall, it was a really, really beautiful dance, a really beautiful piece of choreography, and a really lovely story to watch. Very, very well done.
Amazing energy in this one. I love the progression. It was easy to watch and imagine your own narrative based on the movements of the dancers who seemed both very talented. I thought the second vignette was just especially really striking. The vivid colors and just the interesting concept of both the dancers being in the one garment, I thought was just really cool, and it just grabbed me and kept me engaged for the duration. Just overall, really very creative concept and great execution.
Zyklus XX is full of dazzling, hypnotizing choreography that really gets across that sense of cycles. With each part of the cycle having its own tone, tempo, character, sound, feeling, you know, and the way that it transitions from like one location and one part of the cycle to the next was genius. Every single transition. There's a real fluidity. Really kind of gets across ideas really clearly, but also in a really visually interesting way. Like, there are some genuinely fascinating images at the end when she's like cocooned. That's just like really eerie and transfixing, and then when it loops back around to the beginning, like that was so satisfying. For a film that is so much about movement, it also has a really kind of impeccable sense of how to deploy stillness as well to maximum effect, which I was really clever.